There, how are you doing, team? Nokia Power is here, and we welcome you all to a very interesting video. As you can see, we have Nokia 6.1 here, and this Nokia 6.1 runs the Android Pie official update that HMD has recently pushed to Nokia 6.1. With Android Pie update rollout, Nokia 6.1 becomes the third Nokia smartphone apart from Nokia 7 Plus and Nokia 6.1 Plus that has received the official Android Pie update. So in this video, what we'll do is that we will talk about uh, what major changes and new features Android Pie brings to Nokia 6.1. We will do a demo of it, and then we will follow it up with how the Android Pie update has performed so far on Nokia 6.1. And then we will also talk about if we have faced any major issues or deal breakers. We will also talk about things like battery life. So to begin with, let us first talk about what visible features or visual features or UI changes, redesigns, etc. Android Pie brings for Nokia 6.1 plus 6.1. So basically, if you talk about features, there are like if you talk about the visual changes or visible changes, there are a lot. And to start with, you can just notice that this search bar is now fixed here, and you can also notice this icon here, which is only one icon at the bottom, which can be used for navigation. So you neither have this back button nor have the multitasking button here. There is only one home button. So this is how navigation and UI design had changed on Android Pie. So now, not only these two, you may have also noticed that now you can see the weather information beside the date and day information here. So talking about the navigation, if you swipe up, you will go to the multitasking screen, and as soon as you swipe up and you go to the multitasking screen, you will see that the back button has appeared here. Now, if you go to the multitasking screen itself, you will see that there are lots of changes. So what has changed is not only that the this card interface is new. It can be said new for Android, but it has been present on iOS and Windows Phone for long. So I don't know what has prompted Google to bring this to Android, but I was really impressed with the swiping card interface of earlier Androids. But here you have this kind of card interface. So if you go up, you see these two cards. Let's open one more app at least. So as I said, as soon as you go up, you see the card interface of multitasking, and then you see the back button. Now if you tap here on the top of any of the app, you see two things. Let's zoom in a bit to have a better view. Okay, so as soon as you tap on any top of any of this app card, you see split screen and app info. So you tap on split screen, and then you can actually go to split screen. You can enter here. So this is how the multitasking works now, and we just showed you, demoed you how even the split screen multitasking works on Android Pie. Now, if you're not impressed with this swipe navigation, so there is one more part of this swipe navigation that I would like to show it to you. So swiping just up brings this multitasking UI, and swiping further brings this app list here. Okay, now coming to if you are not satisfied, not happy with this kind of navigation, you want to go back to the earlier, navigation of earlier like Android Oreo. What you can do is you can go to settings, system, gestures, and you see this swipe up on home button. You have to disable it, and you will get the traditional three button navigation back, home, and multitasking. But the multitasking UI remains the same. The card interface has changed. And as I said, for multitasking here now, swiping left or right would not close any of the app card. You have to swipe up. So, I have become habitual, so there is no problem with me. I'm happy with the navigation UI. But if you don't feel fine with it, you don't feel comfortable using swipe navigation, you can just do this and get back the traditional navigation. Now, not only these things have changed, because I think that while UI redesign or some kind of UI changes are like visual and visible changes, but the navigation change is quite deep, because most of the time you would be navigating across the smartphone UI, and this change is really very much impacting. You will become habitual, then it will be really difficult to adapt to any other changes. So what I wanted to mention is that these visual changes from Android Pie are not only kind of redesign or recoating, repainting. It's deeper, with the navigation change, multitasking UI change. So lots of changes are there basically with Android Pie. Now I would like to show you some more changes here. So if you go to the power button, you will see three options now: power off, restart, and screenshot. So what happens that okay, so now we go to this power off, restart, and screenshot. So this option is new, and this provides you third method or third way to take a screenshot. So you can take a screenshot by just tapping on it, and now once you take the screenshot, you get many more options. So you see share, edit, and delete. So what you will do when you edit it, so you go to the editing of screenshot, you see three options of, you can use many filters, you can manually change color, and you can do rotation of screen by certain angle by doing this. So if you don't want any of them and you just want to share your screenshot, you can do that. So these are like kind of changes that are like quite visible here. Now I go to volume rocker. So if you try to use the volume rocker, you don't get all the options that you used to get on audio. You will get only one. For more options, you have to tap on the setting, and you will see all the volume options here. Now if we dig and get more changes, so I just quickly would like to show you something. So this option from Android Oreo 8.1, which allows us to allows the device to adapt to the wallpaper and change to dark or light theme, that has even become more enhanced. So currently we have I mean, just to show it to you, so currently we have this light theme, because app list, the notification center, the power menu, everything is light based on the wallpaper, which is lighter according to the system. Now if I change it to something darker, let's get something darker. And as soon as we do this, okay, I think it will take some time. Okay, one more try. Now it has changed to dark. So now you get the dark theme here. So app list has become darker. Your notification or action center, notification center has become darker, and the power menu has become darker. So these things change. Now what I wanted to show is that this has become enhanced. So now if you go to display, you will notice that you have something called device theme. So you can choose whether you want this theme to change, device theme to change based on wallpaper, you want it to be only light, or you want it to be only dark. So currently it's automatic. So this is what we can choose. Now go, if you try to go to the action center or like notification center, you will see the icons have changed. The icons have changed, they have been redesigned. The whole UI supporting the icons here in the or quick actions buttons here had changed. Not only the buttons now have different new icons, fresh icons, but also that if you like switch anything on here, you will see that I mean it becomes bluish, telling you that something has been switched on. So like auto rotate or whatever. So even other quick action icons, they have also changed here. Even the brightness slider, now this has changed, and you have to actually drag it with your finger now, like this. So as I said, lots of changes here in terms of UI, lots of redesign, lots of new elements, and the navigation has totally changed. So Android 9 Pie brings lots of changes, which can be said like visual or visual changes, lots of UID design, navigation has been designed. So these changes really have deep, much deeper than one assumes the UI redesign, or I mean kind of like the simple UI redesign to be. So now if I go to settings, we will notice even more changes. Again, in the settings, you see that all the icons, all the setting icons now wore a new look. All of these have been changed. If I go to battery, we'll see many new and useful options here. So you see that battery saver now has kind of it has become more enhanced. So now the battery saver can actually disable many more things, including the always on display, so that the battery saving becomes much more what can I say, like much more capable. So if you switch on the battery saver, your battery life will be enhanced or increased much more than it used to be. Now, apart from enhanced battery saver, you have something called adaptive battery. So adaptive battery is a kind of intelligent feature from the Android system. So it actually keeps on scanning apps which consume more battery, and then it will tell you whether you want to switch off that app, or use that app in such a way that you can restrict the app actually, basically. So as it says that for extending battery life, so it itself limits battery life for infrequently used apps, or it will actually tell you that some app is consuming battery, so you can actually go and restrict it. So kind of, now you have this restrict app list where you can go and you can restrict which app you don't want to use too much because it's consuming lots of battery. So in a nutshell, the adaptive battery is a feature which actually gives you kind of battery boost that we have seen from Oreo to Pi. Obviously there is a battery boost with this adaptive battery feature. There is one all more neat feature is of battery percentage. So you can just switch it on and you will see the battery percentage in the bar. Earlier we used to do UI tweaking actually for getting this feature. Now it is here. If you go to display, actually you can see that now uh, we have this lift to check phone and new notifications here. So ambient display, unlike 6.1 plus, we don't have the new features here, but this brightness has become adaptive brightness. Earlier we used to have this auto brightness, but now I mean with Android Pie the brightness has become adaptive. So it's a like an enhanced form of auto brightness, and on the basis of environment and activities, it will obviously set it itself. So it's like a machine intelligence that is being used for adaptive brightness. Okay, now coming back to one more very important feature that obviously needs a mention here and needs a demo is digital well-being. So what happens that uh, I mean Android Pie has like this motto of giving back to you, giving back some time to you so that you can kind of utilize that time for your life, for quality time with your family, etc. So here the digital well-being dashboard tells you many things. It tells you that how much time you are actually kind of consuming by using many of these kind of apps. So photos, wallpaper, Play Store, Chrome, your activities, how much time you consumed, 18 notifications, etc., etc. So you tap on it. So you tap on notification, you go and you can actually see from where you have got what kind of notification. You can set timers for your apps. So you can actually set that I mean, for that period, I mean, let's say it says that when the app timer ends, the app is paused for the rest of the day. So I get, I mean, it for let's say 1 hour or something. I can put a custom timer. After that, the app will freeze. I will not get any notification from it. So I would not get disturbed. That is the idea. So here you can go and you can check settings for different screen time. How, I mean, as I said, this dashboard tells you how you have used your time, or you have either wasted or you have utilized your time while playing with Android, while playing with apps, while getting the notifications, going through them, etc., etc. And it wants to give you back the time. Now you can set different app timers. There is one feature which is wind down. So wind down feature you can actually set for a fixed time period, switch on, switch off, switch on, then you can set a time period for wind down. You can use wind down settings, you can set it as grayscale, you can switch on the do not disturb, and do not disturb is now much enhanced, and you can actually set here what can access even when the do not disturb is on. Now, if I go back, I'll try to show you how the do not disturb has become enhanced. So the do not disturb now has many new things, many new settings like behavior, exceptions, schedule, all these you can actually set. So digital well-being may not be available when you have updated or installed the Android Pie. For getting it, you need to either sometime install APK, which you can get on nokiapower.com, or you can actually enroll to beta, and it will come as an update via Play Store. But this is a very neat feature. It, as I said, it does need a mention, and it's very, again, very deep feature. So okay, it now comes with ability to show icon in the app list. It can be shown in the app list as well. And as I said, if you go to apps and notifications, you will see that this feature goes to every app. So if any app you go, and you will see this time spent in app, which tells you that it gets monitored by digital well-being as well, like other apps. Now coming to one more very neat feature or useful feature that I would like to show it to you quickly. So this feature was present on iOS, etc. for long. So it's kind of when you try to, you put a text here and you try to go to, move your cursor from one letter to another. It has become much easier. I will zoom in and then you should be able to see it. So it has become much easier to, okay, to move your cursor. So this is again a quite useful feature for me, and hope you would like this feature to be useful for you as well. Now coming to how Android Pie has behaved on Nokia 6.1 so far. So I'll say that it has proved to be very stable, quite smooth update for me. And even if the beta was not launched, it was not enrolled, but still I'm enjoying it, the experience of it. It is very smooth. I have not seen any crashes, any freezes anywhere, and it runs there is a kind of homogeneous feeling across the UI. I have not faced any deal breakers as such. Coming to battery life, the battery life is certainly improved, maybe like 10 to 15% over the Oreo. So when I say 10 to 15%, so that can vary depending upon how you use it. But if you use adaptive battery, restriction of apps, etc., then obviously I think that you can get a like 10 to 15% boost in battery life over Oreo. Okay, so with that, we come to end of this video, the demo. Hope you have liked the demo. Stay tuned to nokiapower.com and Nokia Power is a YouTube channel for more. Thanks for watching.